Ah, come closer. Let us speak of a subtle poison, one that men drink willingly, believing it to be the elixir of success. Look around you. You see it everywhere. On the wrist of the man who just closed his first big deal. On the feed of the influencer who just leased his first exotic car. It is the glittering, desperate need to be seen, to compete. Observe the common man, the vulgar man, as he achieves a measure of wealth. What is his first impulse? He runs, check in hand, to the nearest temple of commerce. He acquires the approved symbols of victory. He buys the Rolex, not because he appreciates the intricate dance of its tourbillon, but because the name itself is a shortcut. It is a crude, brute force announcement to the world. I have made it. I am now rich enough to own this thing that other rich men own. He straps a billboard to his wrist. He shouts his value from the rooftops, because he secretly fears that if he were silent, no one would notice him at all. He has joined the herd, merely a fatter, more decorated sheep, bleating its worth in a chorus of mediocrity. He competes, and in doing so, he reveals that he is still playing their game. This is the most dangerous trap of all. The game of more. More money, a faster car, a bigger house, a more famous watch. It is a race with no finish line, run on a track designed by others. And on this track, you are always replaceable. There will always be someone with a little more, someone willing to be a little louder, a little more garish. You are fighting in the mud for the same scraps, and the only prize is to be the most successful copy. But there is another way, a path that does not climb the ladder, but steps off it entirely. The great strategist, Baltasar Gracián, knew this. His seventh maxim is a whisper that silences the shouting crowd. Transcend the vulgar. Do not compete with them. Make them irrelevant. The vulgar man buys the Rolex. The transcendent man, in contrast, might wear a timepiece that looks, to the untrained eye, remarkably plain. There is no famous logo, no paved diamonds, but for the one person in 1,000 who knows, for the one person who matters, they might recognize something. Perhaps the dial is made from a sliver of meteorite, a silent homage to his celestial ambitions. Perhaps he commissioned a forgotten artisan in a remote Swiss valley to create a unique movement, one that tells not only the time, but the phases of the moon on a specific day that changed his life forever. This watch is not a statement of wealth. It is a statement of knowledge, of taste, of a life lived with such deliberation that even the measurement of its passing is a bespoke work of art. The vulgar man's Rolex cost him money. The transcendent man's timepiece cost him a journey, a relationship with a master craftsman, and a deep understanding of his own story. One is a transaction, the other is a testament. One can be bought, the other must be earned. This is the game you must learn to play, the game of uniqueness. When your value is measured in dollars, you are a commodity. When your value is measured in your singularity, you are a masterpiece. Think of the art world. For every 1,000 artists who can paint a technically perfect landscape, there is one Mark Rothko who could drown you in a vast, humming field of color. He did not compete on the grounds of realism. He created a new ground entirely. He forced the world to learn a new language, to even begin to understand him. You could not compare him. You could only experience him. This is power, to be incomparable. So, how do you architect this singularity? First, you must claim a niche dominion. Do not aim to be the best expert in a crowded field. That is a war of attrition. Instead, find an empty territory at the intersection of disparate ideas and plant your flag. Do not be another business consultant. Be the world's foremost authority on applying ancient Stoic principles to modern-day supply chain crises. Do not be a writer. Be the one voice who can articulate the melancholic beauty of abandoned industrial architecture. Create a category so specific, so uniquely you, that you are its sole inhabitant. When you do this, you no longer seek clients. Pilgrims seek you. You do not bid for projects. You grant audiences. Your competition has not been defeated. They simply do not exist in your reality. You have transcended their vulgar squabbles. Second, you must cultivate an aesthetic signature. Your style, your home, your mannerisms. There should be a cohesive expression of your unique dominion. This is not about following fashion. Fashion is for those with no style of their own. This is about curation. The transcendent man does not have a home filled with the latest designer furniture, arranged just as it was in the catalogue. His home is a museum of his life. A single, perfectly shaped stone from a black sand beach in Iceland rests on his desk. A rare first edition book on cryptography lies open on his table. The art on his walls is not from a famous gallery, but from an unknown artist he discovered in a forgotten city, an artist whose vision mirrors his own. Every object, every choice, from the cut of his jacket to the type of tea he serves, is a thread in the tapestry of his identity. It is all deliberate. It all tells the same story. It creates an aura of effortless superiority, of sprezzatura, that makes others feel clumsy, uninteresting. They are wearing a costume. He is simply himself. So look again at the man with the golden, glittering watch. See him for what he is, a man playing a game he is destined to lose, because the game itself is the loss. He is trying to raise the bar. The master of power understands. You do not raise the bar. You become the bar. The choice, then, is yours. You can spend your life accumulating the symbols that others have deemed valuable. You can shout your worth and hope someone listens. Or you can begin the quiet, deliberate work of becoming an original. You can cultivate a taste so refined, a knowledge so esoteric, and a style so singular that you become a category of one. Let them have their race. Let them fight for the crown of the common. Your goal is different, for it is better, so much better, to be admired as an original than to be the richest of the copies.